Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for October 2022. So coming into October, we have the Sun and Venus both set up shop in Libran energy, shining a bright light on where it is that we have to achieve stability and balance in our lives, where life has got a little bit cray-cray, a little bit chaotic, and what it is that we have to do to restore that peace and harmony. We are definitely focused on relationships. We are focused on getting our heart and our head in alignment. We are definitely focused on the plans that we have, where it is that we want to move forward and what it is that we actually want to initiate. We have Mercury going direct in Virgo energy on October 2nd. This is going to be a very welcome shift, really helping us to look forward instead of look back so much, really kind of identify a plan, a strategy to move forward and fix some of the problems that we have definitely been illuminated to while Mercury has been retrograde. This does take us back to some of the topics and themes that we were dealing with at the end of August. And because this is illuminating your second house, this has a lot to do with the foundations that you've been building, with the new routines you've been kind of creating, with the new worth and value that you have trying to get off the ground, and where new skills and talents have definitely come to the forefront in order for you to create a little bit more of a financial stability within your realm. Now that Mercury is going to go direct, we're going to be able to not only think up new ideas and not only communicate what it is that we need to kind of pursue moving forward, but we are going to actually see a lot of improvement with refining a lot of the foundations, the systems, the routines that we have been trying to implement. On the 8th, we have Pluto, the great transformer, going direct in Capricorn energy. This is the 6th house for you, which is your day-to-day life. This is routines, tasks, chores. This is your health and wellness sector. This is also where it is that your mental health needs a little bit more of an attention, a little bit more of balance, in order for you to realize where it is that the scales between servicing other people and servicing yourself needs to be restored. There is a huge transformation in energy taking place around this time, seeing as the last 5 months should have illuminated where it is that pain and trauma has actually taken a hit in our physical realms, that our mental health has suffered and our internalized narrative has really taken a hit on some of the negative narratives that we feed ourselves each and every single day. This is time to really repair, realign with healthy habits, with taking care of ourselves in a different way so that we can continue to be of work and service to other people after we are being of service to ourselves. On the 9th, we have the full moon in Aries taking place at 16 degrees. This is sitting awfully close to Chiron, the wounded healer, and this is the halfway marker in our astrological calendar. We have to go back to spring and realize the ups, the downs, the in-betweens that we've really been trying to battle with since then. Now, I am going to recommend that you jump over to my YouTube channel and listen to the October energy forecast and subscribe to that playlist so that you can kind of dive a little bit deeper into what all these astro shifts are actually going to mean. I can take my time over there and kind of dive into some of the details and really give you a bigger, broader picture on what some of these energy events will mean for us throughout the month of October. But focusing in on this Aries energy, this is going to be a lot of frustration and a lot of anger coming to the surface in order for us to kind of scream and shout and get the rage out, because these lower vibrations and frequencies have been blocking us unconsciously or consciously in actually moving forward. Now, the full moon in Aries is shining a bright light on the 9th house for you. And the 9th house is trusting your intuition and focusing more on the future and what it is that your dream and your vision want you to pursue from here. This is also kind of opening up a learning chapter and showing you where it is that the learning chapter that you've had to jump in since the spring has really challenged you in a lot of ways that have made you feel powerless. The good news is that the 9th house is wrapping up a cycle in order for you to start a new one. And October being the transformative month that it is, we definitely have to get the anger out, get the rage out, get the fire out of our systems before we can jump into something new. The major transformations begin on the 10th when Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, moves into Libran energy. This is finally when we start feeling lighter in our mental planes, when we start kind of figuring out where it is that we can stop looking back and trying to fix and repair aspects of the past, and instead we can start planning for the future. Now, Mercury won't be clear of its shadow period until about the 17th, but in Libran energy, we're really trying to sort things out. We're looking at everything from both sides of the coin. We're trying to establish where balance and peace and harmony is needed in our mental plane, in our inner narrative. And Mercury in Libra is highlighting your third house that Mercury naturally rules over. This is your mental plane. This is your mental narrative. This is your dialogue. This is the way that you're communicating and expressing yourself. And in Libran energy, it does offer us a very great opportunity to kind of negotiate, compromise, and have the heart-to-hearts that we need to have in some of the relationships that took a hit while Mercury has been retrograde. On the 23rd, we have 3 different events popping off. We have Saturn going direct in Aquarius energy, and then we have Venus and the Sun moving into Scorpio energy. First, Saturn, the Lord of Karma himself, ruling over roles and responsibilities, is going direct in Aquarius energy, highlighting your 7th house. So this takes us back to the end of 2020, and then majority of 2021, Saturn has been in this Aquarian energy, really showing you where it is that relationships are needed in your life. I feel like many of my Leo friends have a lot of acquaintances, very few close friends, very few personal relationships. And because this has kind of been an off and on thing since 2020, there's been friendships lost, there's been new friendships gained, and even more than that, where romantic relationships are concerned, there's been a lot of trouble, there's been a lot of bumps in the road since 2020. Since Saturn is karma, we do have a karmic element kind of playing out here where we do get to move forward and kind of build a new foundation within our existing relationships, but also really kind of look forward to building new relationships. Now, the 7th house is actually how we share our energy and share our lives with other people as well. And because Saturn's retrograde in Aquarius should have showed us where it is that in the past, we have kind of put our own wants, needs, and desires to the back burner in order to do what we thought other people expected us to do or wanted us to do. Sometimes we don't do what we want to do ourselves because we're worried about what other people may think of us. And having Saturn go direct in Aquarian energy in this 7th house means that the relationship dynamics, the power exchange in the current relationship dynamics will be kind of, I'm going to say, evened out, because there is more of a need for my Leo friends to really do what is in their heart and soul in order for them to be passionate about, and instead of constantly trying to talk themselves out of the things that they're passionate about and what it is that they desire based off what they think other people might think of them, say about them, or what that may mean as far as not living up to other people's expectations. Venus and the Sun moving into Scorpio just hours later are going to shine a bright light on the 4th house. The 4th house is the home, the family environment, the family dynamic, and where new foundations need to be built in order to actually protect the safety and security within the home. So Venus and the Sun are shining a bright light, first of all, on our deepest, darkest secrets, our deepest, darkest fears, because those particular truths and those particular aspects are actually preventing us from aligning with what it is that we're passionate about and what it is that we truly desire. The 4th house also is going to bring up a lot of shadow elements connected to the mom, the mother role, the nurturing role, and can also expose to us where it is that we have some repressed emotions coming up from our childhood. The 4th house, although does focus on the mother role, it also focuses in on the inner child wounds that we've accumulated through our personal development. So having the Sun and Venus move into Scorpio energy, of course, Scorpio is a water sign. It's very emotional, highly intuitive, but what we know to be true is it's very transparent. transformative as well. And focusing in on the fourth house is going to kind of bring the focus into your personal life, into this home, into the fears surrounding the home, likely connected to finances and personal relationships within the home, and just recognizing where it is that new systems, new structures, new boundaries need to be implemented and created in order to protect the safety, the security, not only of the finances, but of the emotional trauma, of the emotional healing, of the emotional growth that's taking place in the home within the family dynamic. On the 25th, we have the new moon solar eclipse taking place at 2 degrees of Scorpio energy, also highlighting this fourth house of home and family. So here's the thing. We started this particular life lesson back in the fall of 2021, where something was falling apart. There was a little bit of an ending, a closure, whether we wanted it or not, whether it was positive or negative or not, didn't matter. We got a little bit rattled in the fall. Back in the spring here, May of 2022, we would have continued that particular storyline, having another little shake up and wake up, another little wild card event. We have to remember that this Taurus and Scorpio axis is about give and take, about death and rebirth, about values when it comes to ourselves and when it comes to other people. So Scorpio energy is about kind of putting a death to and putting an ending to some of the blockages that we have within our emotions, within our mental plane, and let go of some of the emotional trauma that is constantly getting in the way from us progressing ourselves and truly going after what it is that we want. Because this is a solar eclipse, it is likely that we are going to be gifted with an opportunity, with a reward, with a blessing, with abundance of some sort. And in the fourth house, this is affecting the home. It's affecting the foundation within the home, the relationships within the home, and the finances within the home as well. We're also closing out a 2.5-year cycle because this is a 2 degree. We are kind of in a clean, fresh start, and this will be setting us up for the next 2.5-year cycle. Scorpio's main lesson is to kind of cut the crap out of the way, get rid of the fears, the doubts, the insecurities in order to truly align with what it is that we're passionate about and what it is that we actually crave and desire in our lives. On the 28th, we have Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, blessings, and abundance, going retrograde in Pisces energy. So Jupiter has been retrograde in Aries energy. We are slipping back into Pisces waters. This is going to be a little bit of a reminder, a reflection, a refresh of what it is that we were dealing with in 2021, where we were having some tough love, spiritual life lessons thrown at us in order for us to grow and improve, in order for us to change our beliefs about ourselves and what is that we're actually capable of and what it is that's actually possible for us. Now, Jupiter going back into Pisces energy will give us an opportunity to reconnect with ourselves, with our truth, with our spirituality, with our passion, with our dreams, with our desires. Now, with that comes kind of cutting through the shadow elements of our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, where it is that we just want to escape from life altogether. But through this process, we get a little bit of a redo. So if you kind of rewind to the spring, when Jupiter first moved into Aries energy, we were really pushing forward for change, for transformation. We jumped into new patterns and behaviors, into new topics and themes, really trying to kind of elevate our lives to the next level. Now, granted, we did the best that we could at that time. We faced a lot of hardships. We faced a lot of obstacles and challenges. And then we didn't get very long into trying to bring new things to life before Jupiter went retrograde. So now it's almost like we get to kind of take a step back, refresh our soul and our spirit, remind ourselves of what it is that we're passionate about, what it is we desire, and what it is we want to bring to life. And then when Jupiter goes direct again, we're going to get a chance to kind of retrace our steps from the end of 2021 to the spring of 2022. And we're going to really redefine what it is that we want to bring to life, where it is that we're making the most growth and improvement in our lives. And this, of course, is going to totally change the way that that we look at ourselves, value ourselves, and believe in ourselves. This is illuminating your 8th house of death, rebirth, and resurrection. These are perfect topics and themes for this 12th house when we kind of scoop back in to see what it is that we've outgrown and what it is that we no longer desire to pursue. The 8th house really does kind of cut the crap on what it is that we're no longer aligned with, to free us up to kind of refresh and renew our spirit, to bring ourselves back to life and really have a new life force energy to go after what it is that we're passionate about and what it is that we actually desire. So then on the 29th, we have Mercury move into Scorpio energy, again, adding to the emphasis of the 4th house for you. So there's new information coming in. There's new opportunities coming in. There's new details coming in that really are going to impact the home and the family arena. Now, Mercury is the mental plane, is the intellect, and in Scorpio waters, we're very emotional. We're highly intuitive. This is like blending the best of both worlds. We get our intellect working for us, providing us with logical, practical insights, and we get our intuition, providing us with the gut reaction, with the emotional reaction that we need in order to realign with what it is that's most important. Now, because this is the 4th house being spotlighted for you, this is an opportunity to kind of have the heart-to-hearts that needed to be had in order to clear the air with some of the dysfunction that has taken place within the home. This is also a great time to be able to communicate and fully express our ideas on what it is that we want to see change in the home and the family dynamics, really just recognizing where it is that new boundaries need to be implemented, where new foundations, routines, and systems need to be created in order for everybody to know what their roles and responsibilities are, and in order for us to kind of just realize where it is that we have to pull back on being so involved with other people's lives and really just start being more concerned with doing what is right for us. Lastly, on the 30th, we have Mars going retrograde in Gemini energy. This is going to be highlighting your 11th house of friendships, connections, hopes, wishes, dreams, and great big grand visions for the future. Now, Mars rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, and now going retrograde, we're not going to be able to make many big moves outside of ourselves. Not in our external realm. The energy is being internalized. This is definitely going to trigger a lot of irritation, a lot of frustration, even anger, because we're not able to move forward in life the way that we would want. Instead, we're kind of trapped, restricted, blocked. We have to sit with ourselves. We have to sit with our anger. We have to see where in our mental plane, because this is Gemini energy that it's retrograding in, that we are divided between the choices, between the paths, between the directions that we want to take. We have competing ideas. We have competing narratives. And all of this is very, very frustrating. What I will say is that in the 11th house, we're definitely reconsidering some friendships, reconsidering how it is that we communicate ourselves in those particular friendships. We're also kind of revising what it is that we actually are hoping for, what we wish for, what our vision is, what our dream is. And by the time Mars actually goes direct, we are going to have a clear-cut vision on what it is that we want to pursue from here. And we turn that anger and frustration into inspiration, motivation, and determination in order to not stop until we get whatever it is that we decide that we want. So this energy is going to carry us into the new year and also take us right up until March of 2023. So just trust me when I say that there's going to be a lot of, I'm going to say, competing thoughts and angry communications, angry inner narratives that we're going to have to sort out in order for us to actually gain clarity on what it is that we want to pursue when Mars goes direct. So just a couple of messages for you from the universal guides for you to concentrate on as you move forward throughout the month of October. The very first thing that they're bringing up is that there is some, I'm going to say, paranoia or mistrust in some personal relationships, but a lot of this is just stuck up in the mental plane. I don't know that there's actually a valid reason for it. It does feel like there is a lot of past pain and trauma really blocking the ability to trust fully and to open up to new people. And because you do have this 7th house being affected with Saturn moving forward, there is this air I guess, of needing to recognize that where you were done dirty in the past in a relationship aspect doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to continue to be done dirty in that way moving forward. I feel like if you pay attention to the kind of people that are entering into your realm around this time, these are indicators of how much healing that you've done within yourself. And I feel like we do have to take a good look at some of the wounds that we are carrying on our heart space and in our head space, that we are constantly dragging that emotional and mental baggage into the present moment and kind of casting judgment on the new people entering into our realm as if they were the same types of people that did us dirty in the past. So there is a lot going on in the intellect here, because I think that there is a lot of, again, past residual energy coming up from being betrayed, from being lied to, from being done wrong in so many different ways, that's actually preventing you from A, attracting the kind of people that you don't have to have those feelings towards, and B, actually allowing those people to get close enough to you to prove that they aren't going to do you the same way that you've been done in the past. They're also stating, especially mid-month, that it is time for you to kind of step back from your social scene, step back from being too involved in other people's lives, and sit with yourself very quietly so that you can kind of attach yourself to your higher self and see what it is that you actually want to pursue from here. I feel like you've been going through the motions of doing what it is that you have to do in order to, keep the bills paid, keep the house going, keep the relationships going. But there's a part of you that isn't inspired. There's a part of you that isn't excited, isn't passionate. And in order for you to get realigned with what it is that you want to pursue from here, it's important that you kind of check out and give yourself the time to sit with yourself, isolate yourself, and really align with what it is that you are excited to pursue from here. By the end of the month, I do feel like you are going to be contemplating different opportunities, different directions, different paths for you to take. I feel like whatever popped off in the fall of 2021 is kind of coming full circle, and you're ready to kind of move on from that particular cycle. Even still, when you kind of look at the eclipse energy that we're going to be under the influence of towards the end of the month, this is an ongoing story of really changing the foundation of your physical realm. And I feel like for a lot of my Leo friends, there's been a lot of opportunities or instances over the last 2 years where you have had to abandon what it is that actually excites you and brings you joy and makes your heart happy, just to kind of move through the mundane tasks and chores, completing the roles and responsibilities of just keeping your head above water. So having this particular ending, this particular cycle come full circle, this does kind of open up an opportunity for you to get realigned with what it is that you're actually excited and passionate about in life again. And this is preparing you to initiate a brand new cycle where you're actually able to go after a new mission, a new purpose, and bring new elements, especially where you're inspired and excited, to life. So Leo, that's all that I have for you for the month of October. I hope you have a beautiful month, and we'll talk to you soon.